Hey Internet, Grumpy Man here again. Another afternoon commute. Beautiful day today again. Being a bit crazy. It's like 20 degrees or something. Yeah, for like mid-ish November. That's awesome sauce. So slightly earlier today, it's just after, it's 2:18. So we'll see. To go a slightly different way, there's the part that I always show where people get cut off and so on and so forth. It's like all construction-aided, so there's like down to one lane, so it's a real mess. So we're gonna go up Mansfield here to Rennie Levesque in my very butchered fake French. Rennie Levesque. And zip down to the fort entrance to the highway. Hopefully there's not too much construction. There's traffic on Rennie Levesque, of course, very badly marked lanes, as in there's a big fat lane in the middle, which is pretty much 2 lanes, but only marked as 1. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've gone that way on a video before. Nice pedestrians, let's go. Nice parking attendant. They used to call them green onions for some reason. I don't know the history of that. It's cool in the morning. It was like 8 degrees this morning. It's like after 20, it's pretty good. Yeah. So, not complaining. Apparently, according to my weather dude, it's like southern Quebec severe weather something. So, it's a guy. He has a Facebook page. He's a meteorologist, but somehow I think he works for IBM, doing something or another in IT. And he's pretty good with the models and so forth, or I guess he just interprets them. He doesn't actually do the modeling. And apparently end of October there's a big cold front coming, so we might get even a bit of snow. Hopefully for the kiddos for Halloween it's not going to be too bad. Let's just open my top vent. Yeah, I guess it's bizarre weather, but it's supposed to be nice for the next 4 or 5 days at least. Although I am on pager this weekend, so there's a limit to where I can go on the bike, but I shall go. Bring my laptop with me and my little 4G USB dongle thing, so I don't have to use my own interwebs. But I got a crap ton of things to get done at the house, so I wasn't really going to go on a big trip. It's nice. I took up my layers. Oh, in traffic it's always a little bit toasty. Toasty. I'm gonna want to get over there. Get around some of this crappy crap. All the people. And I hate taxis, there's just too many of them. Come on, let's roll, hoes. Now I can go around, I guess. Oh, yeah. Get taxis turning where they're not supposed to turn, cutting in like that, blocking an intersection. That was a good move on this Sienna. Beautiful move. Top class. It's really changed here. this little area here. This wasn't. So where we're just passing on the left was a very sketchy, abandoned parking structure that actually was being used as an outdoor parking thing. We used to park there because a Bell Center it's just a bit before there. Now it's all this building here too. It's all condos. Fairly expensive condos. Well, I don't know. If you live out where I live, if you factor in your commuting and everything, you could live here and you wouldn't need a car. So there's that. Figure what you pay for a car lease or a car loan. If you factor all that in, and if you could always rent a car if you want to go somewhere on the weekend or something, or if, God forbid, you have friends that don't live near a subway. But yeah, not having a car, that must be not too bad, because that's right near. We just passed Lucy. It's right near a metro station, so I'm sure you have to walk outside for like 5 minutes, but. This guy's turning there. You're allowed to turn there? No, yeah, you're allowed to turn there. Yes, but unfortunately I can't. Oh, I could be stuck behind these guys. Not the best place to turn because you don't get a. Oh, he's realized that too, that maybe he shouldn't turn there because. So yeah, I guess if you're paying more for your mortgage, at least it's an investment. I mean, you don't make money on a car unless you're buying and selling collector cars. So I don't know. I'd find it too noisy, I think. Well, I sleep with headphones and stuff, and I like having my yard and be able to barbecue. A lot of these places you're not allowed to have. You can't have a barbecue, so it means going to a restaurant. Or maybe you can have an electric barbecue or something. I don't know. I mean, I think there's some under 200 grand, but they're pretty small. I know in the right attached to the Bell Center, the Tour des Canadiens, they had prices. They had a little poster with prices and floor plans. And they weren't very big, but if you just need a small two-bedroom place, you know, have a spare room / office, and you don't own a lot of stuff. Maybe it's better. And you don't collect a lot of crap like you do when you have a house and a garage. And it's pretty windy. You can see some of the trees have started to change. Well, this is still better than the other way, I guess. Nice baby AMG, playing pole position, of course. Maybe he wants to cut in. This is more condos too. This used to be an old religious building, like really old, and then it was hyper chip. I don't know. And now it's condos. Condo. Here you're a bit further from public transport though. I mean, I think there's a bus that comes by here, but the metro, 10-15 minutes. But yeah, they really, oh, there's that Mercedes screeching its tires. Yeah, of course. I called it. I don't get it right all the time, but that guy had douchebaggery written all over him. There should be a priority light after. Maybe we'll get in this light. Once we get down onto the highway, it's not so bad. Or hopefully not so bad. It's people that are in the... Sometimes you see people in the middle lane here, cutting in front, and yeah. Besides not being legal, or legal, not being allowed. Nope, just made it. Oof, forgot about the potholes here. Oi! If I can grab my... I'm trying to grab my ventilation zippers. Because that... Well, I have a backpack on, it won't help that much, but it'll help a bit. I'll get my arms in a bit once we get past. Wow, you really feel the vent in the helmet when you don't have it on for a while, and then you do. I'm just trying to zoom. Oh, let's see if it says about something. 20 west. Oh, that answer. Yeah, good. At least it doesn't say incident. What is it? It still says 22.5 since I don't know. I think the dash on this, I think the temperature gauge on this thing sometimes is a bit wonky. Which you would think it wouldn't be because it's, you know, electronic. It's not like it's an analog thing. When it I even didn't put my my saddlebags on today. So no luggage, so a wee bit thinner in the ass area. So not much new going on channel-wise. I have a few commuting videos to put up. I think besides this one, I have a couple others I think that are just queued. Which, as soon as I have a chance, I'm going to put those up. I mean, unfortunately, the motorcycle season is coming to a close soon. I mean, technically, we're allowed to ride until the snow tire limit comes in, which is December 15th. So theoretically, I'm allowed to ride my bike whenever until then. Mother Nature doesn't always play along with that, though. I think the latest I've driven is November Remembrance Day, so November 11th, or is that Veterans Day in the States, when it's the anniversary of when the armistice for World War I was signed, I believe, 11/11/11, something like that. So I remember it was a Monday, and I had a very nice day. Came home, and as I was cleaning my bike and changing the oil and getting her ready for bed, it started to get cloudy, and then it was raining, and then the next day I think it snowed. So I've never been caught in the snow on the bike. I'm assuming it wouldn't be much fun, besides being cold. The tires aren't really made for it. Although I've left the house at -5, -6 Celsius, so below freezing. Mind you, there hadn't been rain before, and there wasn't a lot of leaves and stuff where the frost can collect and make it really nasty. I mean, it was freaking cold. I mean, figure the wind chill at like 80, 100 kilometers an hour. But I've never been actually caught in the snow. Even rain, I've been pretty lucky. At any rate, Halloween, there's no more free parking for motorcycles, so... And I've switched to a monthly transit pass for November instead of using, like just buying, putting tickets on the card. So I'll be taking the train more often. I mean, I get home a little bit earlier, I left a bit earlier too there, but yeah. It's not the most fun. I'm tired and I'm on call, so there's a super long way I could take to get home that I did it once. I don't think I was filming because it's like super long, but basically you go down to the water, so down to Notre Dame, which then turns into Saint Joseph. You go through Lachine, and then that kind of turns into the lakeshore, which, as the name describes, it goes by the lakeshore through the West Island. So you go through Lachine, Pointe Claire, and you can go all the way to Saint Anne de Bellevue, where of course then I have to cross. Then I have to get onto the highway to cross into Ilbero. Oh, it's super windy. Oh, don't be a cock. You're a cock. I can see it. I see the douchebaggery. But there are less cars. Like well, you probably haven't seen the video, but there's a lot less cars coming from this side, which is kind of good. You still have cars coming from the right to left, but left to right there seems to be less since they've closed, redirected an exit from the 15 north to the 20 west. This is the 20 west. So yeah. It's kind of clouded over a bit. It's not supposed to rain though until like Tuesday, I think. Whatever. I mean, my emergency stuff is done outside. Like not the emergency stuff, like the most important stuff. My pool is closed. I have to fold my solar blanket, but the pool is shut. So now it's just cleaning up any crap, literal crap too. Giving the grass final cut. I gotta do an oil change on my wife's car because it's yapping at her that she's due for an oil change. Good thing is she does, I don't know if these oil change indicators, they're supposed to take in consideration not just like time and not just kilometers, but I don't know. It's about every 10 months I seem to be doing her oil change, so. And I figure I'm not putting shit oil in there, I'm putting full synthetic, whatever's on sale, but they're all good. I mean, most of the time it's been Mobil 1, this time I think it's Pennzoil or something, but Castrol, you know, I don't put like no name or Canadian Tire brand oil. I've never have in my life. For the $2 you would save, you know, and put a decent filter. Not that I have much choice in a filter. It's only Fram that makes it anyway. Well, besides going to Dodge and paying 5 times the price, and I'm sure Fram makes it for Dodge. So anyway, I got that to do, and just start cleaning my basement to make room for some crap. You know, like the saddlebags from my bike. I'm gonna put them in the basement, so my bike takes less room. I'm probably my daughter's scooter. It's air cooled and everything, so I'm not, you know, less things to go wrong. I think it's gonna go outside. I'll take her battery out, and I'll put it on my workbench with a little maintenance charger. It just, yeah. And then my bike, and then just do a major cleanup and try and get my car in the garage. My car isn't big, so just to get at least one car in the garage. Anyway, so lots of cleanup to do. Bicycles to put to hang. There's horse blankets hanging in my garage too, so I gotta see what I'm gonna do with those, but I think some of them could be folded and put in a nice safe place. Putting all this stuff in where I'm supposed to be building a bathroom in my basement. 5 people, 1 shower. It's yeah, it's doable. So yeah, house stuff to do. And I'm on call this weekend. So, but if it is nice out, then it's better to clean out your garage and stuff when you're not freezing your ball sack off. So someone asked me how long my commute is. I'll round it up and I'll say my commute pretty much door to door is 45 kilometers, the most direct highway way. So 90 kilometers a day. So yeah, the mileage adds up fast. If you do that 5 days a week, it's 500 kilometers almost a week. It's that's without any detours or any other stuff. So I do notice it. My car's a lease and I'm under the kilometers. When I first got it, I got it in November. I think it was December or January. I drove to Michigan. It was like 2,000 kilometers. So then, you know, at first I was like, oh, I think I'm way out. But I mean, really, it only ends. It only matters at the end of the lease. So at the end of my 36 months or whatever, you know, that I didn't go over the. I'm allowed 20K a year, if I recall correctly. I don't think I paid extra for 24. My face is hot. Construction. Well, this doesn't actually affect much so far, but the other eastbound is it's not so bad. I don't think I've filmed a morning commute in a while, since because it's pitch black when I leave. I leave, you know, usually just before 10 to 6 or so, and it's pitch black. So the GoPro is pretty much set on auto settings, but I don't know if it's the ISO setting or the shutter speed. There's one setting, and it's kind of like just slightly optimized for daylight, for broad daylight, to get the best picture. Even so, it's not made for if I took it off auto and set it for nighttime, I guess there's people that film with it at night. I've seen people testing headlights on bike reviews and so forth. Oof. I guess I should have taken off my long sleeve t-shirt too. Well, the temperature hasn't changed, which leads me to believe that it's done that before, where it's just been set at a temperature. Maybe if there's some bikes out. I'm glad to see some people. There's noticeably less people at my motorcycle parking place, that's for sure. A lot of people are really fair weather riders. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just calling it that. Nice. Nice black sport bike. Guy looks suspicious. RAV4. Suspicious as just playing pole. Everyone plays pole position here. It's like you don't need to change lanes. I mean, yeah, if there's a lane completely stopped and there's another lane that's completely wide open and no cars, yeah, but in this you don't really get ahead that much. I stay in this lane just because the other two lanes, people coming on and off on this section, and everyone driving like a maniac to get onto the 13. So anyway, anyone, nothing special, anyone that drives the same route every day in traffic knows which lane is the best lane without driving like a maniac. You can know which lane is the best lane. There's one. I'll sip on the cruise after. Put on my cruise. Nice new Mazdas over there. I like the look of them. They don't really Mazda is not really into the performance market though, which is a shame, because the Mazda 3, from everything I've read, the current generation Mazda 3 is a very nice car. It just, I think the top horsepower you can get is 184, and yeah, most people, it's not their thing. They just want a car that's reliable and is decent on gas. And 184, I wouldn't wouldn't call it really anemic. It's not really a huge car. The Mazda 6, yeah, you're starting to get, they don't make a 6 anymore, but now that they've got turbos coming in, the CX-9 and everything, well, maybe they'll redo the Mazda speed. That would be awesome. Apparently it had huge torque steer. It was like not really a great car to drive, besides the hooligan factor. Alright, see, now this guy has no business being in this lane, but he's trying to avoid all this. Oh, big rig cutting off people too. Oh, he's moving. We're not too much of a rush here. Little cruise. So, right there, cruise control. So you could unzip your other jacket without slowing down. I believe when they invented cruise control, it was just for that. Temperature gauge, please. There we go. It's working. It's probably warm in my house though. All the windows closed up. Go home and have a cold beer. Doctor ordered. Bunch of slow folks in this lane today. Oh, nice, 650. Big BMW land yacht. I haven't been on it since last week. Oh, Florida TDI. See the big cloud of smoke. The bike on the highway a bit more than the small ride I did with that old one. Yeah, we didn't really go on the highway. I have to rewatch my own video. I'd like to see how much different, like on a day like today where it's fairly windy. To see like how it feels if you're really in a bubble of still air, even with the cross. Is how it feels like. I've been lucky, even on the trips I've done, long trips. I didn't have wind anything like this. The actual wind. Yeah, but it's kind of hitting me from an angle still. Luckily, it's a long ride. Well, if I was, I'd just pull it loose and slow down. TDI is like, I don't know what he said. Fast lane, slow lane, fast lane, slow lane, passing people which way. It's always best to signal after you've committed to the lane change. You don't want to show weakness. TDI is going to town. Past people on the right, he's not actually even going faster. Past that Mazda, and now he's going into a 70s. We're in his 70s. A lot of construction near my house too. This morning, like I said, it's dark and there's not the best street lights, but luckily I was following someone because there was a big dip in the road where they've removed the asphalt and it was just like chunky gravel. Yeah, luckily I had time to slow down. And then the other way, there's two ways getting to my house, and the other way there's just basically a big bump of gravel in the road where they've put pipes across it, so covered in gravel kind of thing. So all that driving like a maniac, the guy in the TDI Golf is right there. So good job, man. Ooh, SQ5. Nice. I don't know what engine it has in there. I know what the RS5 has. A small twin turbo V6. 444. I'm not that smart, I just watched the YouTube thing at lunch today. The head to head. I think it's some sort of V6, some sort of 6-cylinder in that, I think. Freaking expensive though. That's like for pushing 70 grand. Got a little bit of a nice sound to the exhaust. Oh, it's a nice small SUV. Smallish. Oh, he's got the adaptive LED turn signals. Look like Cylons. The original Cylons. Oh no, they had the ships there that had the same or Knight Rider. That's an option on you get it when you get the, I think when you get the I don't know for this year. But the LED headlights were an option at one point on some of the models, and that comes with them, I think. This is, besides the wind, this is another perfect riding weather. The wind is a bit much though. Nice silver focus. The most sexy of all the colors. I guess I could have stopped at that one. I was keeping an eye on that guy though. But yeah, I should have stopped. Bad grumpy man. And there's still a service light on my bike. I don't think I'm getting the service done this year. I may or may not change the oil. Hey, people flicking their ashes out of their car. Where do they think that goes when there's a motorcycle behind them? Oh right, they don't give a crap because they're smokers. The world is their ashtray. God forbid you have an ashtray in your freaking car. No, you gotta throw your butts out the window. You ever got one of those? I've got one of those. Luckily, you know, it just hit my jacket because I was wearing a jacket, but God forbid my jacket was open when on a hot day or something where I might have, you know, the top few inches unzipped. Yes, go in there so I don't have to ride behind you. Retard. Yeah, you can see the colors more here. Obviously not at the pine trees, but what the fuck? What the hell? On a hill! What a fucking moron! Can't see traffic coming, does a 3-point fucking U-turn in an 80 zone. Fuck! There's roads he could have turned and done. There's a road right there. There's a street right there. All I had to do was go like 300 meters further. Fuck! So this way I go to my house is slightly longer, but there's only 2 stop signs instead of like 6. And there's no 30 zone. So all in all, better. Zoom. God, I love this bike. Seriously. Of course I fawn over new bikes and new gadgets and whatnot, but when it comes down to the trouble of, you know, changing bikes and blah blah blah, yeah, mean, I did trips, and I can't realistically see doing a longer trip. I drove, you know, I drove an entire day, did like 700 kilometers in a day, or whatever it was. See, call it 700 kilometers. I did 700 in a day. I could push that a little bit further, but doesn't mean I will. So, and I survived. I wasn't sore. Besides my neck a little bit, that's just being old, and I could do, you know, if I actually exercised. Oh, gas went down 3 cents. It went up 16 cents. So yeah, but just, you know, like I said, as much as I fawn over those bikes, like the RT and the GS, they're heavy bikes too, and there's something to be said with this, with no luggage on it. It's like, I mean, it's not a super light bike, but it's around 500 pounds, which is totally manageable for most people. Yeah, here's the construction. Oh wow, yeah, they're digging the sewers out. So that's for the fire hydrants, so they can power the fire hydrants. Don't know about potable water, like house water, but maybe there's lines down there too. So this is the other way. I did this on one of my first videos, just when I was just testing my other camera that I had. Piece of crap. So, not a bad place to live. Like these people, they don't have much land. I mean, you're on the water, and of course that's going to fetch a premium price because it's waterfront. But really, you're going to build a house, a reasonably sized house. You don't have that much, and with small kids and stuff, it'd probably be a pain in the ass more than a pool. Because the city doesn't regulate, they don't want you putting a fence along the water, if I remember right. Yeah, twisty roads like this, you know, but this is like a low speed one, but when you find no secondary roads, oh baby. Whoa. That guy takes up the entire road. That's not really safe. Wow. So, home sweet home. Oh, people waiting for their kids. I don't know those people. They live in the back. So there's my asshole neighbor's kid, who I made a bet with my son. Oh! Put one exhaust back on. That he was going to take the exhaust off. These guys got a scooter with a crazy exhaust. Anyway, thanks for riding with me. Uneventful. Nice commute. Grumpy man out. Take care.